Hey, I'm Arif S. Kinchen. You may recognize me from such things as the hijacking of Flight 601, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Carol and the End of the World. Oh, yeah. Sparks, Saints Row, Snabacash as Osman. Wait a minute. Maybe as Finn. Oh, or better yet, maybe you recognize me from the 40th anniversary of Transformers G1. And you're watching In Conversation with Amber the Fangirl, ATF. Jazz reporting for duty. From Cybertron with love, y'all. Kick it, Amber.
Hello, everybody. Amber here. Welcome back to In Conversation with ATF. My guest today is an actor. He is a voice actor. He is best known for voicing Jazz in Transformers Robots in Disguise 2015 and also the recent 40th anniversary script read. How cool is that? Yes! Jazz was my first Transformer that I got. Perfect choice. Perfect choice.
Perfect.
Yeah. Hey. Oh, you've got like an original, I think. Is that an original?
Yes, and I put him with the floss
Wow.
hooks because he's flossy.
Oh, that's awesome. This is a Studio Series 86 one from the movie, so this is a bit
man.
this is a more recent figure. Oh, but honestly, it's so cool. You voiced Jazz and you voiced Bebop in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Wrath of the Mutants, Finn for the Lego Star Wars franchise, Princess Smooshy in Star versus the Forces of Evil. Good show that. Michael Holt in Justice League Gods and Monsters, Pierce Washington for the Saints Row franchise. Live action includes LaMarr Hicks in Sparks. Also shows like Saved by the Bell, The New Class, The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and also other animated media like Mad, Family Guy, Happy Feet, Gears of War, Resident Evil, The Casa Grandes. He's done everything. My guest is Arif S. Kinchen. Hi, Arif.
Hey, how's everybody doing?
Good. Well, I'm great. How are you?
I am living, I am good, and I'm pseudo rested.
Oh, honestly, like I am so jealous of you. I've got to start with the recent 40th anniversary script read that was recently in cinemas. It was in cinemas over here. I went to go watch it with my cousin. It was very interesting. And I mean, to be honest, I didn't remember. I don't think I remembered what your jazz voice sounded like in Robots in Disguise, but after listening to a sample of it a few hours ago,
Yeah.
for the script read, I love how you kind of changed it so it sounded like Scatman Crothers.
Hey man, that's who doesn't want to imitate someone who meant so much to you? You know what I'm saying? So even with
Yeah,
Robots in
yeah.
Disguise, they were like, I was like, so you want Scatman? They were like, no, we like your voice. I was like, you sure? Okay. Because I had heard another voice actor do him, and I was like, that's pretty good. I will beat that. It will be my life to beat that. But you know, they had a little more cachet than I did at the time, so they got to do it a couple of times, and I was like, I will get it one day.
Yeah, because you were only in like 3 episodes of Robots in Disguise, which is a bit yeah, it's a shame.
It was a bummer, and at first I thought I was like dead in the water, and then they're like, "Hey, we want to bring you back for the ending." I was like, "What? Oh, cool, super cool!" Because I was like, they made it seem like I was going to be back a couple of
That's
times, but I was
so
like,
much potential.
but I like it.
Yeah.
I was off world helping out Optimus. It leads to the story, and it goes back to the original G1, which I had. I am ashamed to admit I didn't realize Jazz's military significance to the Autobots and being the right hand of Optimus. I really didn't
Yeah, because
realize
exactly
that.
was.
Yeah, you're watching the cartoon, you're enjoying it because you're a kid, he's your character, and then all the different versions come out and it gets all convoluted, and you're just watching because you love Transformers, and then you finally work on it, and then all these different things, and then you come back finally to now, and you're like, oh, oh man, y'all should have used me a lot more.
Yeah, honestly, that's just
I'm like,
I mean,
where was Hound? Where was Hound?
Yeah, I know it's a lot of these characters. Like, I know Jazz didn't appear in Transformers Prime or anything like that, which is a missed opportunity. I mean,
But a great show that I watched. I sat there like a child every week with some cereal in a bowl and I watched it. And my kids were like, "Why'd you turn off my show? Transformers is on. Just Justice League Unlimited is on. The
Justice
Clone
League.
Wars are on. Move out the way."
I like your taste. I like your taste. I mean, Justice League Unlimited. I've spoken to most of the cast members from that, and they are
Mm-hmm.
so lovely. You know, I've met Kevin Conroy before he passed.
Oh
So,
man, Kevin, his death is a gut blow in this industry because of such a
yeah,
beautiful man that he is. The same thing in the same vein as Bob Berger and Rob Paulson, who have both gone through medical scenarios where we could have lost them.
yeah. Oh, and Billy
So I
West as
think
well. He had a
yes,
yeah. I remember. Yeah, I didn't
and
know Bob
that's
Bergen
why we
had.
love it.
Hmm,
Well, Bob he's great. I'll let him tell his story, but he's a great man and a pillar of our industry.
mm-hmm.
So much so where you just feel they're uncles. They're your favorite
Yeah,
uncles. You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? Like they're literally your dad's brothers that always come in the house. Ah, shut up. I'm taking him for ice cream. I'm taking the kid for ice cream and he's going to drive the car. He's 12. He's driving the day. Just a cool uncle that knows everybody. You don't know what he does for a living. You have no idea, but he's always there. He's got a pocket full of money and you get to go in the store and get everything you want.
Yeah.
That's all those guys.
It's like everyone in this industry is so nice, no matter which voice actor you meet, no matter from what field, you know, animation, gaming, commercial, it's everything.
Yeah.
Everyone is just so nice, and they will
Well,
show
well,
it.
thank
They will
you.
show it. You're
Thank
welcome.
you. Thank you
Of
for
course,
that. My colleagues, I think we realize we have a dream and it's a lot of times hard to believe that we get to play and to bring to life things for everybody else because we're bringing it to life selfishly for ourselves while we're doing it, and then the
yeah.
fact that you guys like it too is great because if you get to sit in a room and ever hear Kyrie do Grimlock, you'll laugh for a long time, almost to the point of getting firing. You get fired. You're like, I'm sorry, I can't. Oh God, do it again, do it again.
So, did you grow up? I'm presuming you did. Did you grow up with the original G1
Yeah,
cartoon?
yeah. That was
Mhm.
a run home from school, get in the house just in time and watch kind of cartoon.
So, how did you
And
feel all these? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
no, go ahead.
How did you feel all these years later to have the chance to audition to be Jazz?
It my scenario went like this. Hey, they got this thing. Uh, it's for Transformers Generation One. We don't really know. Yes. What do you mean? Yes. Well, they have this. Yes, Arif. I need to tell you what it is. I don't care. You said because like at the beginning, Hasbro is doing. Yes, yes. Like I think I was in traffic and I was like pulled over to the side. I don't care what it is. They want you to do jazz. Absolutely yes. And some other characters. Yes. Well, Reef, the amount it pays matters not. I started using Jedi, so I was like, it matters not. Yes, I am the droid they're looking for. I am the droid they're looking for.
You are the chosen one.
So that was it was kismet. And as you saw from our footage, Frank and I we were just looking at each other like, really? We get to be here? This is and I had never met him before, but like we both could sense like, okay, we're the new guys. Let's show them what we got.
Yeah, because this was recorded, I think, late last year because
Yeah.
I did an interview with one of the other guys, Michael
Mm-hmm.
Bell, and he did mention we did talk about it before it became public. Obviously, I
Yeah.
couldn't say anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
But he was like, yes, there's a script read and Frank and Peter are going to be there. And he read out all the names on these lists and stuff. I was
Yeah.
like, and I was like, Arif, and I was like, Oh, Jazz. Yeah, because I was quite. I was. I'm happy. I'm happy that
Hey,
they got you back as Jazz because I
I
feel as
was
if
very happy.
your reign was short lived on that Robots in Disguise.
Now we got people on the internet saying, okay, we got 2 more years for the movie. I'm like, if only, if only. It's the kind of gig that you're like, okay, I should probably, make sure everything's in order and I might need to get a day job because does it get better than this?
Who
Like
knows?
your career is over. This we're giving you one hurrah. Thank you very much. I'll take that as I skip along into driving Uber.
Honestly, I'm so jealous of you though. That would have been so amazing because all the behind the scenes stuff I've seen you and Frank Tadaro
Yeah.
post. Just honestly, I am to pull up to that place in Burbank and just see all these voice actors just accumulated there from the G1 cartoon. You're probably thinking, oh my god, this is like that's Frank Wilco there, Peter Cullen over there, and you guys just footage of you watching the first episode. Just
Oh my
warmed
God.
my heart.
That was phenomenal. Though so when I got there, they were like, "Oh yeah, just go in and do this and do that." So I'm walking through, and the very first thing I see, aside from meeting Frank, and Jesus, man. So if I'm walking to you, like imagine if I'm walking to that door behind you, and then I see you. That's Frank, and it's just both of them together at the same time.
Of course.
It makes no sense. They were doing an interview and it's like you become a kid, you become about 9 years old, and you're like, you have your little flip notebook with your pen, like, hey, could you sign? Could you sign? And it's like, keep it together. You're here all day with these guys. Relax. And at the end of the day, I made sure that everybody, like we were all signing each other's scripts, but I wanted to make sure that Mike and I think it was Greg. I was trying to make sure their stuff got signed because they were walking away, and I didn't want everybody to leave. And I looked back at my script. I only had 2 signatures. I was like, God dang it! Always taking care of everybody. Super nice Honda guy. But I have mine still right here, our actual script.
Wow. Oh, that's
So you can't
awesome.
see a lot of it because of the
It's
green screen,
slowly disintegrating.
but those are all of our different colors and what characters we're
Oh,
doing and stuff. So
wow.
it's kept right where I can see it when I'm working on other things. Like, okay, you didn't book this job, but I did jazz.
Exactly. Yeah, I worked with these guys. You didn't.
I worked with these guys. Okay, I worked with Pete and Frank, and Frank is you already know Frank is a card, man.
Yeah.
That dude is hilarious. And the two of them, because they're such old friends, really the whole table, but the three that they had together, you put Greg, Frank, and Peter together. It's like Mike said, this is exactly how it was. They're always trying to make each other laugh. And that's how most voiceover sessions that are in person, once you know that they're not getting rid of you and your fear is done with, or if you walk in the room and it's old friends,
Mm-hmm.
they have to separate you like kids. They're like, no, you're on this side of the class, you're by my desk, you're over there. Do not sit them, like literally notes. Dear substitute, do not sit these three together. And they set them together, and it was just like that is real. When you see me and Frank just like holding, like we're trying to not laugh and mess it up
Mm-hmm.
because we want to let them go, but like we're wanting to laugh out loud and let it go.
And then just the bloopers after the whole
Oh,
script read is literally just Frank and Peter goofing around. That's just literally what it
and there's
is.
so much more. There's so much on the editing floor. Oh my god.
We need the director's cut.
Yes. When hopefully they do a digital slash
I
physical
hope
media
so
release.
too.
Yeah,
Yeah, they
man.
need to put it on YouTube. Like for those who couldn't make it to the cinema,
So
I mean,
what's your complaint from the screening? I think ours are all the same worldwide. What was your one if you had one thing you could fix from the screening?
Well, there's multiple things, but if you want me to just mention one, then I will.
Yeah,
I would say so there were some parts of it that were the dialogue was sort of missed out because I think at one point you could hear one of Thundercracker's original lines instead of Paul Lighting reading
yeah,
Thundercracker. A few of
yeah,
these stuff were missed out.
yeah,
And when Frank Tadaro was doing his line as Reflector, it said Starscream under him instead of Reflector.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So there's a few little nitpicky errors and stuff, but we
Burbank's number one complaint was, why did you not put the commercials where the commercials went?
that's what I thought as well. That
we
would have been
we thought it
so
would be so
funny.
awesome. We thought that it would have kept the pace going and it would have felt authentic. Like,
That would
put the
have been
commercials in the
funny.
middle, put the commercials in the middle, and it would have kept it going. Because by episode 3, it was like, okay, all right. I also wish, I was like, I don't think you got to run the credits. I think if you would have just do it in the
Yeah,
episode and start the next episode and then run the credits at the end because it's all one
yeah,
big thing.
because
Yeah,
they sped up the credits, but they kept the music the
yeah,
same, so it just awkwardly faded out and stuff. It was just
yeah.
really, yeah, and like at
That was our only thing as fans. Like, we're hoping like, oh, on the digital, do that, because I think it'll work better and it goes along with the theme. But
yeah,
I think the thing that we loved the most was the more you know.
yeah. Honestly, it would have
The
been really.
Bumblebee was great. The Bumblebee in the end commercial is
Oh
like,
yeah, the PSA at the
yeah,
end.
the
Yeah, that was
PSA at
quite
the
funny.
very end was phenomenal. Everybody laughed out loud. We were all like, "Oh my god!"
I
And
think one
Frank,
of. Oh,
go
sorry.
ahead.
So go ahead. Keep no.
Oh,
I insist.
Frank was informing me that he said those never aired. I was like, "Are you sure?" Like, in my heart of hearts, it's like I feel like I've seen that before, but I guess they could have put it on GI Joe because they used to kind of run them back to
Yeah, they
back.
just essentially just use
Yeah,
Bumblebee
so
instead of a GI Joe character.
yeah, so I
That's
was
why they
like,
say no. That's why they say no wing is half the battle because it's literally
yeah.
ripped from the GI
Well,
Joe
you remember
PSAs.
the cartoon? I mean, the comic book was GI Joe versus Transformers. That's why they're really working so hard to get to that. Like, I
Yeah,
own like I actually own a lot of those comics where they were like going back and forth. And I mean, I own them not because of, oh, I worked on. No, no, no. Those are mine from, like, yes, like wearing the shorts that are too short, wearing tank tops that should not be seen publicly by people in pictures, like when you're a little kid with high socks with the stripes.
yeah.
Like, you run around like, I have those comic books in Mylar with backing, and it's kind of crazy. Like, when I look at it, I'm like, wow, we were reading this stuff. This
Yeah.
is crazy.
I,
But yeah, so that's it. But now continue with the occasion. Keep the
well,
order of things.
I was just gonna say, I wish I could have been with you guys in Burbank because there were a few cast members at the AMC,
Yeah.
and I know where that
Mhm.
is because I was there on the third. Yeah, because on the Thursday I went to Olive Garden. Then I stopped off because I wanted to see the Batman statue that's just next
Mhm.
to the AMC.
Kind of
That's
nice, isn't it?
I know I love it. And when Kevin Conroy died, people went and put flowers by it.
They should have, because he
They did.
he's
They did. There was pictures
he,
online.
he's the voice. He's in our hearts. Like, that's what Batman sounds like.
I know. Yeah,
Even
honestly.
though Michael Keaton is essential. Michael Keaton is essential. He is the original. He's essential, but it's like that voice of Batman through every iteration is just embedded. It's just embedded.
Yeah, honestly, it's magical, really, and just I wish I could have been there with you guys because it would have been so
Mhm.
lovely. But unfortunately, the universe had other plans for me at that time, and just I wish I was still in Burbank. That would have been. I just would have loved to have still been out here today, like to take a good 6 months off and just go to Burbank and just reside there for a good few months. That would have been just perfect for me.
You will do it soon. You are manifesting it right now. It will come
Fingers
to
crossed.
be. It will
Fingers
come to
crossed.
be. Are you going to Comic-Con?
Which Comic Con?
San Diego.
I wish. Everyone was
Okay.
talking about it at the smokehouse, and I was
Okay.
like, I can't. I really can't. I'm like, I was gutted, honestly, because like the next time we're all coming back is for the next TF Con in
Okay.
at Burbank, so I will
Okay.
be there. I need to get you as a
All right.
guest.
Hey, I will be there. Get me there.
Yes.
I'll meet you in one of the conference rooms or the lobbies. Like
Yeah,
if they let me in, that'll be great. Because he was actually there. The head of TFCon was there with
he
his family, so that
was.
was very good.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
got to hang out.
I briefly saw him at the the room where you had to go. Were you there both days, or were you just there on the
Yeah,
Saturday?
I came on Sunday, but I came late. Like I took my kid to work. I came through, met up with Frank, walked around a little
Um,
bit, and then left right back out because I had to go pick the other one up to go do something. I got two kids. That's my job. My career is voiceover, but my job, my 9 to 5, is transportation coordinator of youth.
essentially the same as my dad then, because he just chauffeurs me around everywhere.
That's the main reason I love acting. I'm like, oh, well, what do you do for a living? A job that allows me to be around for everything that the kids got going. And I told them, I said, when you graduate, do you know how famous I'm going to be? I'm not going to be driving you guys anymore. I'm going to be I'm going to be drop dead famous, guys. Okay. Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
You're
yeah,
not going to be
yeah.
able to control dad anymore. I'm going to be gone. So far gone.
Did hang out with Frank on the Saturday evening. I'm not sure how long you stayed after the event
Oh,
finished.
I came, I stayed till he went to the bar, and I know he had to
I
go
was
get on a
hanging out
panel
with him at the
after
bar.
so you went after the panel that him and
Uh
his buddy did, because they had to go to a panel around 5 or 6,
oh yeah, the
right?
script read, yeah.
Yeah, where they judge the readers. Yes, so
Yes.
I had to leave after that. I figured that was a good bow out, go
Yeah.
home, record some stuff, take care of some things, and then I came back the next day after I dropped my kid off at work, and I think my other kid off to hang out with the friends. It's a lot.
Yeah.
It's just amazing over here.
Honestly, it's magical. Honestly, I'm really sorry that we didn't get to meet though. It would have been really lovely to
I
see you
met
in
you.
person.
I got to meet you at the table, so that was cool. And I got to
Well,
see your
technically,
artwork, so I was excited. But we
I
didn't get to
don't
hang out and get to know. Yeah, so I get it.
I know I was gonna say if you said you were a reef, I was like, I know you. It's just I can't believe that was such a chance meet. I mean, I'm gonna try and look back on my footage and see if you are in any of it, and I'll be like, man, I'm kicking myself for that one.
Can I remember you were showing him a script of something you had worked on. You said, "Oh, it's come a long way," and you brought out this binder, and I was like, "Whoa, whoa!" I
Oh,
said,
that was a
and
binder full of my artwork.
and I was like, "Yo, she's good." I said, "Keep an eye on the kid, because in Wanda and that is that the Darkhold. We got to keep an eye on her."
I'll do you some artwork next time. I'll do you some jazz artwork.
Anytime people bring out a folder that's bigger than like a school, like when I'm like, what is in that folder? Are we going to be teleported somewhere? Can I get my bag first? I would like to have a change of clothes.
Massive, massive big book, and it's just like one of those that you just jump into, and it's like the size of
Yes.
Narnia or something.
Like feel like animania, like what animania,
Animaniacs.
animalania. No,
Oh, Animalania.
yeah, you know what I'm talking about with the library and everything, the little
I think
cartoon
so.
where they were like humanoid kind of animals, and there was a great library with the tree of life and everything. It's freaking amazing thing that was on PBS that I would watch with my kids. I think it was made in Queensland, so it's very very cool, very cool. Like
I think
I've
so.
never stopped fanning out over cartoons. My wife and I might have been the only adults at the Pokemon movie when the first one came out, and we
Oh.
felt very awkward as we looked around the room. Like, I think we're the only without kid people here. But I do like Pokemon, so let's just enjoy the movie.
Yeah, honestly, I'm not really. I've never really been a Pokemon person. Sorry about
Well,
that.
I was until it started pulling the Dragon Ball Z.
Oh yeah, I
And
mean it
if
was like
and if the fans don't know what I'm talking about, it's like every time a new series come on, you're like, no, I've seen that episode again. Why are you dragging this episode out? Why are you showing me 5 minutes of the episode before? Once that kind of stuff started happening, I was like, I'm out. I was like, I'm out. I appreciate it. I'm a fan. Oh, Frieza, who is he? Okay. It's
oh you know
you kind of have to like put something shiny in front of my eyes to keep me around. But it's like,
yeah.
and once I started learning about final forms, I'll come back when he gets to his final form. I'll come
Well, I
back.
mean, back then it was either you were the big debate was Pokemon or Digimon.
Oh yeah, I auditioned for Digimon several times. I was hurt every single time.
Really?
Hurt. I went to I got to go to Saban, and it was in Westwood. It was really cool, and it was like, I'm gonna get this role. No, you're not. Oh, what? So I went in like 3 or 4 times, and I was just like, on Saturdays, like, still a good cartoon. I'll watch whatever.
Yeah, 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 yeah. So,
I'll keep an eye.
so what made you want to? Sorry, there's a hair on me. I don't know where it's gone. So what? I keep getting hair all over my hands. Like I just looked down at my hand, or I still feel something brush against my arm. I just
It
looked down
doesn't
and
want to leave. It's like, don't send me away.
sorry. How? So what made you want to get into acting, Arif?
Initially a girl, and then wanting to feel that high. So the girl, a friend of mine from elementary school, English accent, but black, and just cool, just interesting. So I did the play,
Mhm.
and after learning a couple of dance steps, I had forgot she was even there. I mean, quite honestly, I just was having so much fun with my whole rogues gallery of friends at the time, and like, we're gonna put on a play. We're really gonna put on a play. This is gonna be awesome. And I remember just being just so like just feeling it, and it's just coming out of my pores, just like, I'm gonna be in the music, man. I'm an Iowa townsfolk. This is so cool. And singing and like not being off note. And I was like, wow. And then junior high, getting to do oratorical competitions where you have to embody the character that you're doing. And my teacher was very, very serious about it, and he like just fed me a lot of Martin Luther King, not just I Have a Dream. He's like, well, the I Have a Dream speech, but the complete speech, not just the excerpt, which is totally different. If you hear it from the beginning, it changes the whole context of it. And
Yeah.
then there's another one that he did, I think, at the Montgomery, at Ebenezer Baptist, I believe. And
Hmm.
I got to do that one, and that was the more controlled vocal tone of Martin Luther King, and then using that as an audition piece and to get into the drama program at my next school, and then utilizing it again plus something
Hmm.
else to get into my other drama school, which is Loxa, and just everything after that. And then my friends giving me a phone call, hey man, these people saw your picture, they want to know if you want to be in this movie. I was 15. I was like, yeah. I keep my clothes on, right? Because we saw Fame, and like, the famous scene at the end is like,
Yeah.
that's not what
Yeah.
acting is. That what acting is about? So shout out to Irene Cara for giving us the true depiction of it. But from then on, after doing House Party, I just had a full summer. It was like working, those teen movies where you see kids, I'm working at the lake and I work in the snack shack, or like Hattie Shack, and they're doing all these like,
Yeah.
and they break out in song and dance. We were on a sound stage. That was our life for 5 weeks in a summer. Hip hop music blasting, rappers and that we knew, actors and comedians that you've seen on TV, and everybody's like, "Hey man, how you doing today?" And people are talking to you like you're a real person. And it's so weird at 15 and 16 being able to talk to people like a real person is a big deal. People actually seeing you for the human being that you are, and not placating or baby talking you. It changes you. It changes you, as well as it makes you more responsible, because now you don't want to let them down. But the kicker was seeing people in the mall after the movie came out, and they still were the same. They were nice, cordial. Hey, this dude danced in the movie with us. It's like, okay, I'm part of the process now. This is great. And then I did some extra work with Kenny Ortega, who was most famous for High School Musical. He had a show called Hull High, which really is the bones of High School Musical, just just missing the Romeo and Juliet aspect, but more or less the meat of it came from that show, which was an NBC show. And I lied about my age, and I worked all summer. And
Ooh,
when it was time to go to
interesting.
school, somebody came in from Kenny's camp and was like, "Are you 18, Arif?" I was like, "Yes." "Are you sure? You can tell me, son. You can tell me if you aren't. Seriously, no harm, no foul." I was like, "Yes." I should have said no, and I should have took the no, because I worked the whole summer. If I missed 1 week of work, it wouldn't have been so bad. But I ended up getting kicked out of high school at the High School of Arts, and I got shipped over. I got the choice of a lifetime. You're not a bad student. You're not a horrible person, but we can't allow this to happen. Where do you want to go to school?
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I called my now wife, asked her what she thought about it, and I called one of my friends, and I was like, I think I want to go to Palisades. Pacific Palisades. It's by the ocean. I don't think there'll be, because I was already 2 years removed from any kind of gang violence that was going on, except when I would go hang out at parties or whatever. So I wasn't part of the cliques of going to the games and everything. I was a theater kid, even though I was the hip hop theater kid, if you will, but still a theater kid. And so I went there, and it was the greatest thing that's ever happened to me. I didn't get to act much, but I got into madrigals, and I ended up befriending Will I Am,
Oh,
from the Black Eyed Peas, my man Ahmad, from he's had hip hop success. Another one of my friends that had just moved here from New York, Kyrie Santiago, was one of the original members of the Def Squad, which is a part of Eric Sermon and Redman. And then a guy named Corey Gomberg, who helped founded Cybertech, which was one of the biggest hip hop brands for a while. No, his dad founded that, but he put money up to help me work on my demo right when we came out of high school. So it's like I got to meet great people, and I have people that to this day I consider to be my brothers, that came from that school, people that were in my wedding, my kids' godfathers. So it was the greatest gift through a circumstance, and I got my last week of money.
like
17 years old. I'm making $60 a day. I'm
you got your
rich.
foot in the door, essentially.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I tell every young person, if you get a chance to do extra work, I would advise you to do that, because you are getting paid if you're thinking with the right mind.
Yeah.
Don't get caught up with shiny things. Go there, do what they're asking you to do, and learn the process while you're being paid. When they say cut and they pull you to the side and they're talking to the actor and they're adjusting stuff, look, watch, have real questions if you ever get to ask them. Hey, what were you guys doing when you yelled cut? Oh, we were resetting the camera, we were changing the angle of the lights, we were doing this. And you start learning what is being done. Well, what do you do? Oh, I'm a grip, or I'm a lighting guy, I'm a sound guy, I do this, I do that. And you start learning the departments. Get paid while you learn, or you can go to acting school, which is good. I recommend anybody who wants to perform, do that. But if you get a chance to do extra work, use it like it's a paid internship. I think that's a better way of saying it. Use it like a paid internship, and just go. Stop. Don't try to take selfies and be friends with people. Go get the knowledge. So after about a year, when you finally do end up on set, because it takes a couple of auditions before you get in, or you get your first audition and then you don't do anything for a while. So it's like it's that kind of thing. But I love extra work. I've even let my kids do extra work a couple of times. It's not their thing. They don't really want to do acting, but my son wants to be an editor and a director, so he's learned a lot being on set. He learned about angles and how to deal with cast, and I was like, that's all it's here for. Just learn as much as you can.
Wow. Yeah. Learning from the best.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Trying to.
um, Arif, I'd like to ask you about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Wrath of the
Yes.
Mutants. You voiced
Yes.
Bebop in it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what was that like? When did you? Because that only it came out very recently, didn't it? I believe.
Yeah. Well, it's a lift from a pinball machine, I believe. which is crazy, right? Like I went over a couple of okay, so I want to believe it was 5 years ago. I went over to a place in Burbank. Uh, Super cool. It's Hawaiian themed. Now I
Mhm.
want you to understand what I'm saying. It felt like you know how here goes a deep one for you. Tahiti is a great place to visit. It's just like Agent Coulson when you walk in. It's like very like where am I? Little screens showing waves and stuff like actual beach footage. I'm like,
Wow.
am I in an islands burger or did I just walk into a CIA op? What is happening here? So very, very cool. Douglas Kerrigan was there. Douglas
Love
is
Douglas.
my
He's awesome. Wait, did he voice direct it?
yes, yes, yes.
Oh my gosh, I love Douglas. He's been on my
Douglas
show
Kerrigan
before.
is my first and only voiceover teacher.
Wow.
Douglas is literally the amount like well no not yeah because I haven't gone every time I've tried to go to somebody else to learn something they're never available or the slot is always filled. So yeah, Douglas was my first teacher, my first and only. I know I'll have some more eventually, but Douglas is my main teacher that has brought me into the Saints Row world. uh Recommended me for some animation projects and then brought me in for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle thing. I'm sorry, and put me in my first lead role in an animated film,
Ooh,
which
wait,
is
which film was that?
Manu the Swift.
Oh yeah, I did see that
Yes,
on your behind the voice
yeah,
actors page.
yeah.
Yeah.
We were all able, all of us have done stuff in movies, but no character from the beginning to the end of the process. Name is used. Everybody's voice reference had to be used from me to create their localization. I'm like, not too shabby, not too shabby.
Yeah, yeah. Honestly, like, yeah, Douglas is really lovely. I did speak to him for my show, but we were going to
He's an
meet to go hang
amazing
out.
guy. Did you see pictures of his dogs?
I don't think so. Maybe I
Douglas had,
can't remember.
if I'm not, he either, I think he has Huskies. He has some of the most gorgeous, if they're not Huskies, they're Akitas. He has the most gorgeous dogs on the planet. These things are just, they're magnificent and cute.
Oh,
They're so cute.
they're big and fluffy. Oh, that is
Yes,
awesome.
yes. But
I've
doing Bebop was fun. Get a voice reference. You go in, you rock and roll it. I auditioned it and then went in. The first time we couldn't talk about it. We were not to talk about it. We were not to speak on it because it was a revoicing of somebody. And Hollywood is weird like
Yeah,
that.
it
And
was
I get it.
JB Smooth, I believe, voice Bebop
Yes.
in
Yes.
2012.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know him. And I've always felt like, well, where is he? But what I found out is a lot of times you get revoicing because the what do you call it? The schedule of fees. So if I get a multi-million dollar contract, then when I come in, you have to break that down to days. So I may come in to do an ADR and it's $100,000 or pay a reef, whatever. It's like, yeah, get a reef. Keep us on budget. But it puts me into the project. It puts me into the process of it, and it gives me a shine, and it works my muscle.
Yeah.
So I love it. So being able to do JB Smooth after being around him and admiring him for so many years, because I've worked at the Comedy Store through a friend of mine, Guy Tori. I've gone on a tour with improv troops and being able to be in the same house with him, not house as in physical, but the same like performance place with
Yeah.
JB. And he ended up being with my agency. So being able to sit with him several times is just phenomenal. That guy is a renaissance man of comedy. He's been able to forge a path that is it's he's a legend, and I don't think he gets enough credit for it. He's literally a legend. But yeah, that's how I got the role. I auditioned for it, came in, knocked it out the park, and Douglas is so giving. He'd be like, okay, now make it like you. Still in that voice, but make it like you. And it's like, okay, this is a calculus question. And the missing variable is, okay, X and Y. I'll do it, Douglas. And he'd be like, why do you look like you're doing physics? I'm like, because I am. You said do it like me and do it like JB.
Um, did,
trying.
did did you do all of your sessions on your own, or did you do any group duo records with anyone?
No, they had us all in there by ourselves for that particular project for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Would have made sense if you did
Yeah.
a session with Fred Tatasciore, who voiced
Oh,
Rocksteady.
I mean, I do all my sessions with Fred Tatasciore.
He's the one who arranged the Burbank
No,
Smokehouse meet.
but I stand on the fact that I do all my sessions. Fred and I, when we do ADR, it's like I love sitting by him. There's a girl named Chandelier White, and who else is a goof? Oh, Michael Bell, yeah.
Michael Bell, yes,
Like we
of
we
course.
work for a young lady named Terry Douglas. Oh, and Scott Menville.
Terry, yes, I know Terry,
You
yeah.
put us all in the room at the same time. It's like Fred usually starts it. It's usually Fred starts it. Then I say I'm quick jab. Like I'm quick jab McGraw. Like I'll say something real quick, and then 2 minutes later, someone's like, "Oh my god!" I'm like, "Told you." That comes from stand up. Like, so I try to give you jokes that you, when you think about them and you fall out later, you're like, "Oh my god, that was goofy." Like, yeah,
Yeah.
I am a goofball. I think the long game. I think the long game. And then Scott does his voices, but Fred is a cornucopia of talent that is just being wielded the right way. Is just finally getting wielded the right way, and he's such a one of the biggest hearts in our industry. I think.
Yeah,
He is a human teddy bear. It's like Fred. He's so freaking cool.
Agree. I can wholeheartedly agree. He's the one who arranged the whole Burbank Smokehouse thing for me, and he was
Oh
like, "Yeah,
man.
invite anyone you want." He invited a few people, so that's how I got to meet Andrea Romano, because he
Oh,
invited her and stuff. It was just, oh my god,
freaking
wow!
awesome.
I need to get him on my show. I need to try and arrange, because we originally had one scheduled for last year, then I had to cancel it, and I've been trying to bring him back ever since, and it's
Get
not working.
that boy is picking up steam. He got schedules now.
I don't hear from him. He's
He's
doing
doing
other
so
people's
well on what do you
interviews,
call it?
but not
Moon
mine.
Dinosaur, Devil Dinosaur. He's so good
Devil,
on
yeah,
there.
Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. That's
He's
it. Yes.
so good on there, man. And to think it's like, man, you get to work with Lawrence Fishburne. He's like, sometimes he's there, not a lot, but I'm like, man,
At
that's
least he's
phenomenal.
there. At least he's there.
Exactly. I'm like, yo, you're
Yeah.
killing it, man.
I
So
know.
that's good.
Yeah. And Star versus the Forces of Evil,
Oh yeah.
Princess Smooshy. What a
Which is
show!
the weirdest audition ever. Like they want you to do a princess, excuse me, like Kabuki theater princess, maybe. And then they played me the demo. I said, "Oh, I get it." I said, "She's deep voiced. Okay, I got it. I got it. I got it. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go." Because at first I was like, even at my highest, I don't know if I can keep it going long. Like I was like, but how do you want her to sound? And I was like, still got some bass in there. I don't know. I know there's plenty of women that can do this role. But once I heard her, like the scratch of it, I was like, oh, I was like, shoot, I'll play it like this. I don't care. They're like, no, no, no. Try to match that. And I was like, oh, okay. She's upset about everything. And then I started thinking about even Bob's Burgers and all these different things. I was like, yeah, yeah. I have a couple of aunts that are deep voiced. So I was like,
Yeah.
not so bad, but I just thought like, kind of like quintessential. I smoke 12 packs all the time. And they were like, no, 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 not for Monsters Inc. Don't do her, but bring it down, like make her more funny. I was like, oh, you want her sassy. And I was like, okay, cool. So we had a lot of fun. Super good. And it's the gift that keeps giving. And then for them to let me do Princess Ratina, that was amazing too. Cause that's what I ended up doing. I did that for her.
Honestly, like, yeah, Star versus the Forces of Evil. Yeah, Kelly Ward voice directed that. Do you
Yes,
remember?
very nice.
Yeah. I was,
Very,
because
very
I was gonna
nice.
ask if you remember working with him.
And guess what? I apparently worked with him many moons before that. He was like, I've been waiting for a chance. I said, my wallet has been waiting as well. And he had a great laugh. And I was like, but it's good to be amongst you again, brother. Let's do this. And it was just fun. And he made you feel good about yourself. I think a good director knows how to compliment you without placating you.
Yeah.
There's a fine line. Someone can placate you and make you feel like, oh my God, you're so great, baby. You're so great. You're so awesome. You're so awesome. It's like, I don't need the Ari Gold treatment to get me off the phone. I want to know, am I doing all right or not? And Kelly made it very good. And it was awesome to work there too. It was a little place, another little place in Burbank. Did you get to go down Studio Row in Burbank?
Studio Row, Studio Row, Studio Row.
Basically Magnolia and Burbank, like where all the little like Outlaw Sound and Ice House and Nickelodeon is over off the other street.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It was like all these different places to go to, and it's just like, so all of my cartoons are made in 5 blocks.
Yes, I did actually go to Nickelodeon. I did see Nickelodeon.
Isn't it crazy? It's a beautiful.
It's like a
campus,
massive
right?
playhouse. Honestly, it's so cool. Like in the I had a little treat from the cafe. I can't remember what it was. It was like a pie, a little pie or something. I can't remember what it was, but I was just eating it in the lobby, and I just see all these writers going past you, and just like, hi, don't mind me. I'm just. It was so weird because like, you're not really allowed in there. They don't do tours or anything. You're not really allowed in there unless you're working. So just being in there and having nothing to do with Nickelodeon, it felt
it's a great privilege.
I felt up there. I felt all the way. I was like all the way up there. It was so fun.
My kid had an audition for one of their shows, and they were so nice to him. And it was just like, my wife was like, "Are you gonna go in with him?" I said, "Unless they ask me to." I said, I can kind of trust everybody in this voiceover department. I said, I've worked or auditioned for all of these people. Cause it was like, oh my God, Arif, that's your kid? Oh. And I'm like, oh my God, that's so freaking cool to have people that you can trust. It's like, yes, Andrea Romano, walk my child into the WB and go ahead and audition. You're not nervous because you know this person. Take my daughter, walk her in. Cause you're like, but like, a lot of other times, like, I need to sit in the booth and I'm quiet. I don't do anything. I'm not giving direction. I'm just there as security.
So has your son gotten any roles in any media yet?
Well, no, he got to do a commercial with the family, but he's auditioned well enough that they've, taken him to callback to producers, but he's green. You wish and hope for the chance, but then you're also like, I want you to get it, but I don't want to pay that $3,000. I don't want to pay that money for you to join up. Like, when you say you really mean it, then we'll. But he likes the industry more than my daughter does. I think my daughter would like to work. Well, no, I know she wants to work in education, helping out special needs children's or developmentally challenged kids. That's her course of action and what she's going to school for. So I think she wouldn't mind being like a studio teacher. You know what I'm saying? And like a liaison, because now with the different things that SAG has done, we got to bring in more kids from different backgrounds. So she could be the person to help a special needs cast member, like as we call them, handicapable person, with running their lines or just keeping them safe and making sure they get their time. So if she does anything, I think she would do that. Or she'll come back and be an Academy Award nominated actress at 29. Oh, I'll just throw my hat in the thing. And then she books all this stuff. And we're just looking at her like, yeah, it's just 30, 40 years of experience. Yeah, congrats.
Yeah. So, but as you mentioned it before, Andrea Romano, you worked with her on Justice League Gods and Monsters.
Yes.
What was that like?
And on Batman, God dang it, the cartoon that we did for Cartoon Network. It's an amazing one. She directed, and I got to work with Carlos Rocco from
Alice
Nickelodeon.
Rocky. Yeah.
The season ticket holder of the LA Football Club.
Oh, Beware the Batman. Yeah.
Will Friedle, Will Ferrell, he has a lot of money in that, but he is not the season ticket holder as Rocky is. So he might want to give up his parking spot. Carlos is the franchise.
I need Will for my show. I met Will about 2 years ago, and he said yes
Yeah.
to my show. So I've been trying to get
Oh
him on
man,
ever since. But I've been,
get him on.
you know,
Get him on.
I'm trying. I'm still trying.
Yeah,
I'm
stay
trying.
on
I've
top
tried
of
through
it.
his agency and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's just so hard to reach. Just maybe
Well,
one day.
hopefully, I've only met him when I work with him, and it always feels like the introduction again, and it's like I don't mind it. I'm like, as many people as this guy meets, and plus he's Terry McGinnis, so whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
And then the other Will with football club is like, I just think he's gonna do me like he's gonna do something to me weird, like old school, or like or like Holmes and Watson, like he's gonna turn me into some sort of SNL sketch, and I'm gonna get nervous and just start crying. One of the
Have
funniest
you?
dudes on the planet.
Yeah. Have you got any particular memory that sort of sticks out from when you worked on any live action shows in the 90s? So Sparks, Fresh Prince.
Oh yeah, Fresh Prince, Lorenz Tate before Menace to Society. Let's just start off right there. Before, like, this nice cool kid that I've seen on a couple of shows, and then I take my friend to go do some extra work on Menace to Society. The Hughes brothers are like, hey, you was in House Party, right? I'm like, yeah. So like I said, House Party helped a lot.
Yeah.
And then the Fresh Prince episode helped a whole lot because it was more of a standout episode. But being able to do that episode was phenomenal. My sister went to school with Tatiana Ali. She went to a highfalutin high school that it was at the foot of Bel Air, quite honestly. Tatiana Ali
Wow.
really, really, really went to a school in Bel Air. So I'd already met her around with the girls a couple of times, but not enough where she would really remember me. So I got there early morning, and seeing Will Smith and him running his lines, meeting James Avery, and seeing Alfonso, because I had seen him a couple times. He went to my junior high for a little while. So I'd met him, amongst people, but not like had an actual like, hey, if I ever get a shot, I'd love to come on. None of that. But the most important thing out of all of it was watching Will Smith's work ethic and getting to see the master craftsman that would go from being Uncle Phil to being Alonzo Sparks, my boss / father figure on my show. And literally James Avery saying the words, "You have a great voice. Have you thought about doing voiceover?" So it gave me a jump off point from Fresh Prince that started everything. And their first AD, Rusty Coleman, came over because of James and was our first AD. And we've watched each other's kids grow up. When last week on last week's episode, Arif's kid called.
Yeah, and when we were talking about James Avery, and he was Shredder from TMNT.
But I mean, I've become James Avery without even trying to.
You do remind me. I was gonna say
bald. I'm bald with a beard. I just need to walk around the house and say, Will, Carlton. But yeah, working with Shredder, not even knowing his depth in the voiceover world, because I had IMDb, but I didn't really know about really researching and looking at stuff. I worked with him, and I could call him on his phone at the house. So it's like you don't really know how big it is until the end. When he passed away, then it was like, oh my God. And I remember we did Comic-Con, the Voices panel. I made sure within the first 3 minutes of me talking that we shouted him out, because I honestly do not think I would be on doing anything if it wasn't for that seed. That one little comment changed my trajectory. So when I chose SBV to be my agent, it was because they had a whisper room. And I was like, what do you do with that? Why do you guys have a mic here? That's kind of, they were like, oh, we do commercials and voiceover. I was like cartoons and stuff. And, you're coming out of this hip hop world, and you're so, rapper / actor. And at the time, people didn't like rappers acting. I was like, I don't care. But, you're you're looking at it and you're getting a chance to like, oh, I can spread my wings. I can do something with this. So
Yeah.
that's, and I've been with SBV since 1996.
Also,
Me,
yeah.
me and Rob Paulson. Me and Rob Paulson. We don't go. We don't go places.
I was
And I
gonna
think
say, yeah.
Jay Hell too. Jennifer Hell, I think, came just right after us.
Yeah, a lot of people are with us. It's either SBV or CESV that a lot of
Yeah,
people I
yeah.
know are with.
And everybody's been there for a long time.
Oh yeah, yeah. Honestly, it's just like everyone just like sort of congregates together. Yeah, Jennifer.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm trying to think who else is there.
Eric
I can't.
Bauza. Eric Bauza.
Yeah, yeah, him. Yeah, like
He,
Eric.
he's
Yeah.
the newest, and that dude is Kobe Bryant. It's like, what are you gonna do? I remember meeting him through Andrea Romano. Andrea, I met him through
Dang.
her, and like we were talking, and I was like, oh, okay. He's like, yeah. So I've been doing this for a minute. I said, wait a minute, I see you around an agency. I said, you drew the stuff, right? He was like, yeah. I said, oh, okay, cool. And I didn't realize how much talent was in his pinky toe. this guy, this guy within the next 3 years, you're just like, oh, Eric Bauza, my bad. I didn't know. Okay. But never mean. He was never rude. I was never rude. Just I liked him a lot. But like you're looking at the next Mel Blanc being born. You're looking at the next whoever, but you're looking at the Eric Bauza. It's kind of like what is it? Simone Biles. They call it the Biles.
I think
It's like
so. Yeah.
it's that kind of thing. Like how she's amongst herself. We can't call
Yeah.
her anybody else. That's Eric. Eric is Eric. Just Eric Bauza. Yep. This is
Another one, D. Bradley Baker is with the SBV as well.
one of the most loving people on the planet.
I've heard a lot about him.
Planet.
I have heard a lot about him.
D is I used to see him all the time around the age. Our agency, I coined the phrase "we're the student union," like the lobby.
Yeah.
So I call it the student union because usually at a college, there's like the student union. Everybody's hanging out and commiserating and talking.
Yeah. Yeah.
To the point, once again, what I told you about the three of them, guys, we're trying to audition people. Could you wait? Could you keep it down? Because everybody's talking about something and then making funny voices. There's I don't know if you've ever had a chance of meeting Peter Jason, veteran actor.
No, the name doesn't sound familiar to me.
Veteran actor that used to hang out with Orson Welles.
Oh, okay.
Like veteran actor, like hangs out with the Quaids, like Randy Quaid and all that. So like been around for years. Did a show on HBO. I feel bad. Not Death Valley, but it was a huge Western. It was a huge Western show that came on there. That was great. The guy that was with Mr. Wick, he was on that show too. The guy that runs the hotel in the Continental. Yeah, the guy that's always like, well, I guess take some guns. like he was on that show, but Peter was on there for all Deadwood. Peter Jason literally can make Jack Benny and Bob Hope come back from the dead and laugh. That is literally he's the guy. If I wanted to see a fight, I would put him, Peter Cullen, and
Welker.
Frank, but Smurfs. We talk Michael Bell.
Michael Bell, yeah.
And Fred. It'd be a battle royale. I would just sit back. I would just throw topics. I would just throw them into the topics, and just for any for because why I throw Taiki Watiki.
Yeah.
I
I know who you're
would,
about. Yeah.
I would throw him in there too because people that are quick witted, it's like you can't beat it. You can't beat quick wit people. You can't. It's something so amazing. Yeah. I think that's why Robert Downey Jr. is the genius that he is when it came to Iron Man, because it's like quick wit. Nothing's on the page. This is happening right here. But
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
I mean, I've just looked. Peter Jason has done some DC animated stuff and worked with Andrea Romano, so I'm gonna try and get him. I'm gonna get him.
Yes.
You've
You
inspired
you
me now, Reef.
you will love this guy. And he knows how to cook fresh pastries.
Ooh, I
Man
like
after
a man
my
who
own
does
heart.
that.
A man after my own heart. Boy knows how to cook.
There we go. You've still got in. I guess still getting hair all over me. Sorry.
Yep.
Try and yeah, there we go. Just have to wait for the lighting to sort of, adjust itself.
You have to
Um,
wait it.
yeah, I have to wait because like all of a sudden, because like sometimes if I go
Mhm.
out of frame or something, it will just come out and I will be like, if I say for example, if I come down here and I come back up, I'll look really bright,
Mhm.
and then I it's so weird how it does that. So Arif, I want to ask you one final question.
Okay, it doesn't
If
have to be
that's
final. You can
I mean,
ask me as much as you want.
I mean, how much time do you have left? That's the thing I
I had to answer the phone, so I can give you another like 20 minutes. We can go another 20 minutes.
Awesome. Well,
Yes.
okay, so the Saints Row franchise.
Ha ha.
Of course I gotta bring it up. I gotta bring it up. Oh my gosh. What was it like to work on that? Because I do remember my brother playing the games. Obviously, I've never played them, but
Yes.
so I've heard so much about it. So
It's
tell
Peggy
me.
18.
Oh,
Peggy 18. That's all I
that's probably
remember
why. That's probably why I
about
didn't play it.
we were a game that got banned in Australia.
Oh, right. I see. That's a way to start off. Did you know? Do you know why? Or did they not
it,
tell
it,
you?
it, it, ah, it's a billion things. Oh, let's just I don't know, like with your audience, is there an allowance of snarkiness and cheeky stuff? Is that okay? There there
Yeah.
were there were like sex toys used in our video game. We were cursing. There was a character development thing where you can make your character anything. So you can make your character any gender, any binary, any trans, however you wanted to. You could run around in a what do you call it, like a speedo with a
Yeah. Yeah.
gun, like a speedo and some cowboy boots. What?
Yeah.
Why? What? Okay, go for it. Why not? It's a video
Yeah.
game. You do what you want. You could be a bearded lady. My character right now, I have this badass chick, man. Black chick, super freaking badass military tactician. In the States, we call her stacked. She's thick. She's like Wonder Woman, like true Amazon. But I have her using my cousin's voice, Katero Colbert, who's Killer B.
Oh, awesome. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
she got his voice. So she sounds like this when she talks, and I'm like, I love it. I don't care, because I didn't work on the new one, so it's like I love having his voice so I can play. But I'm like, I like the girl characters. I just do more than I like the guys. So it's like, whatever. Like whenever I play
Yeah.
Injustice, I'm always playing as Wonder Woman or Supergirl because
Yeah.
I just like it better. But
Yeah.
I think that was some of the stuff. And then talking about sex trafficking and running for president, doing something anal reference, a joke. There's a lot of reasons to not let us into the country. There's a
Oh,
lot of reasons. Sexual role play, it's at some point in part 4. An actual download, a DLC is called Enter the Dominatrix. It's like, I mean, it's our own fault, and I pledge allegiance to it.
well, at least you do.
It's the only game. It's the only time I've worked in my life where like I can say this. You go. I really? Are you sure? Well, let's go. Let's go. Every day at work was something fun. It was just like, only person I never got to work with was Daniel Daycam, which still breaks my heart. I didn't want to crash his session because I knew that he had to fly in and go back to Lost. And it was like,
Yeah.
I want to get. I was like, whatever. So
Yeah.
he's freaking super dope.
Mm.
Super, super dope. And once again, like I said, it led 5 different things, man. That's amazing. Uh Douglas got me in that like he brought me in as an NPC on part 1,
Mm-hmm.
and then I end up doing a little bit more than was expected. Then they brought me for the DLC to do Dex, and
Mm-hmm.
then literally he brings me in and says, "We got this character. I think it's you. Let him hear what you're doing." And I basically record and audition and do it. I'm Pierce Washington the day I walk in, and it don't stop. And I was just like, wow. And it wasn't until halfway through part 3 that I figured out, like, oh, this game is a big deal. Oh, this game is a big deal. Oh, we went to Comic-Con and it was like, oh, this game is a big deal.
Yeah.
And they tried not to let me into the party.
Who did?
Your company's no longer around. Take that.
Karma exists in some
Yes,
form.
yes, yes. Like, thank you, THQ, for everything, but you
Yeah.
and thank you to Danny Nicolette for getting me in, get my wife in.
Hey.
Yeah, yeah. So
Speaking of
we're
video
we're
game,
we're a package deal. My wife and I, like, when you get to a certain age, it's like, oh, we have a ticket for you. You mean you have 2 tickets for me? No, no, no. It's a package deal.
yeah, 2 for the
all the
price of
crap,
1.
all the crap she goes through with my goofy child, she gets to go everywhere. Even if she doesn't want to go, she gets the opportunity to turn it down. She doesn't. No, she gets to go.
Yeah, yeah. Well, speaking of video games, you were in GTA 5.
Yes,
You
yes,
were as a part of the local population, and
yes.
as we discussed before, you voice a construction worker who's sort of near the who
The
works near
piers, the
works
port.
the port, yeah, the docks
Yeah,
sort of. Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, there's so many people in that game. Like you
Oh
just
man,
think you've
the
got to go
day
through
of,
every NPC.
would have been the best day for you to be at Pop Sound with a microphone. Like, I mean, like, cause we had to go somewhere else. Just the lobby was filled with so many people from television and film.
Wow.
Like, I mean, like, you're looking around like, oh, what? And we're all looking at each other like, so what role are you coming in for? Cause I thought I was here for, because it's such a, you got guys that are 20 to 70 in there. So we're all trying to figure out, what the hell are we doing? Are we doing the same thing? Are we doing something what's going on? And that's the genius. I give 2K that in Rockstar. They
Yeah.
are genius of keeping it close to the breast. They keep it real close. You don't know what's happening. It's just like, oh, okay. When it finally comes out, you're like, okay, genius idea, genius idea. Very good.
Yeah, yeah. By any chance, do you know of an actress named Deborah Wilson?
Hell yeah. One of the very best of
I
us all. One of the very best of us all. Phil LaMarr's
agree.
illegitimate sister.
Yes, yes. I need to. Honestly, they're just. Oh, I met Deborah. You know, she's just so nice. Have you worked with her on anything
I've
before?
worked with her on so much. Once again with Terry Douglas, we do a lot of ADR for a lot of great projects.
Oh yeah, I did notice that
And
on your
and it, and
page.
it's like, man, I've had the pleasure of being amongst her when we were doing Onward,
Mm-hmm.
working on Trolls, both of them, and working on Wish. I believe she was there with us for Wish. And
Mm-hmm.
it's just, just getting to work on all these projects, and being part of the project and being part of the process. I think ADR is the most fulfilling thing aside from the lead roles that I've had, because I can be anybody. I can just act. And I think that's the greatest thing, just being able to go in there and just do it without any ceiling. There's no, like, you got to be real and keep it rooted. But when it's
Yeah.
animation, and then if you ever get a director that's so cool to be like, okay, just what do you think? It's like, perfect, my opportunity. So that's how everything happened in Turning Red. They were like, well, can you guys do any Jamaican, anything? I said, I can give you something. I said, it'll be a piece of Haitian, Jamaican, and little South African, because that's kind of stuff I've been working with. Maybe I could throw something together. And being able to do that kid's dad. And then when watching the movie, I had forgot I did it. And an actor called me and said, Arif, you did a great job on that. I said, what? They're like, you don't remember recording that? I was like, what do you, he said it was like one of the last two things they asked us to do of the day. I was like, oh. And I went back and I can always hear me if I listen close enough. I was like, that's me. Oh my God. I was like, that was super cool. And the same thing for Elemental.
Elemental, yes,
Yeah.
I did
Yeah.
notice.
So all of that
Yeah.
stuff, man. But Deborah, she is, I think, uh a recluse and a super. I find Deborah, like when I'm driving the back roads of areas around the valley, and she's like just chilling, like walking with her dogs and stuff like that. Like I've ran into her like I'm gonna cut through traffic and like, hey Reeve, I'm like, okay, don't ask her where she lives. That's creepy. You doing good? Great. Because like I'm a super inquisitive person, so I'll ask like a jillion questions of people. Like, so why are you over here? What are you doing? What are you doing? Oh my God, what kind of car do you drive? What kind of, like I'm really thorough in my questioning.
Yeah.
So it's like, no, don't do that. You come off weird. So I'll be like, okay, bye. And then you'll see her like literally in, you're in a supermarket. I don't know if I want to go with ragu. Deborah? Hey!
Yeah, you're just like looking at the fruit. Oh my God, Deborah Wilson.
like, hey! and
Hey,
and
but just like,
she's always the same way. Hey, Reeve! And with a big hug. Cree's the same way, like, what's that, Reeve? And it's like, it's just good people who have had it on both sides. I think
yeah,
those of us who have been able to experience both sides of it, we see that there's something magical about voiceover.
yeah, definitely.
There's something freeing. Because I think Deborah did voices for Lord of the Rings. If not, she did the video game. And
I
she did
think,
orcs.
yeah,
She did orcs
yeah,
and some other things like creature sounds.
I
She did
believe
it.
so, yeah.
She did it at Comic-Con. And I was like, and she said, it's a genderless, race free opportunity when you're doing creature voices. You don't have to worry about any of the stuff. You're just doing stuff. Because I remember I had the chance and I went all the way. And I think D beat me. I got the chance to do all kind of voices. Well, audition for I Am Legend to do the zombies, like the zombies you
Mhm.
don't see,
Yeah.
or the unlived. I don't know how they want to classify it, but the zombies. And yeah, D did a much better job. But I gave it all I
Yeah.
had. I gave it all I had to the point where I think I threw my voice for the rest of the weekend.
Wow. Oh yeah, I am Legend. Wow, that is actually quite awesome. I didn't know you
Yeah.
auditioned for that.
Oh
Wow.
yeah. Like yeah. I mean that I think that would be a wonderful panel somewhere. What did you not get that you still think about? Like what are those gigs that you've auditioned for? And because some stuff sticks with you. Like even Cyborg. That's when I met Kyrie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I went in, I auditioned for it. Cree was there. Uh, Ken Michael was there, and basically what I call the usual suspects, those that are doing it, we're all in the same room. I think Bumper came through, Bumper Robinson. Maybe I
Bubba
might be wrong,
Robinson.
but same thing for the Cleveland. Like same thing when they were casting the Cleveland show. Everybody,
Yeah.
everybody.
Everyone in town turns up.
When I say like just like GTA, you're like, so what are they looking for? We're all here. Oh my God, I didn't know you were. Oh, you do this too. Like I didn't know you did this either. We don't gatekeep like we used to, but now it's just like, man, you better get in, and we just tell people the truth. Like it's not rocket science, but you should have some sort of theatrical experience, I think it'll help you better, or you should be a well-versed musician.
Yeah.
I think if you're a singer, you can do voiceover work all the time. It got real bright. The
I
sun
know,
just came up
yeah.
in your room.
I had to just fiddle with
I
something
know.
on my
I know.
what's it called? The oh what the name's just completely gone on my head out of my head. The the
The thingy. The thingy.
the inhale and the exhale. I don't know why it was. I don't know what it is.
The
Why?
humidifier.
That's it. That's a humidifier. Yeah.
Yeah.
Why does my face keep going bright? Stop going bright. It's really annoying me.
No, that
Um.
just means you have a great personality. The sun
Oh.
shines through you.
Oh, thank you, Reef. Yeah. Honestly, just my cheeks hurt from smiling a lot. I'm not kidding. They do.
Good
They really
job.
do. Thank
Good
you. Thank
job.
you. Is there any actors out there that you really want to work with that you haven't worked with yet?
Giancarlo Esposito. That's a hands down.
Yeah.
That I think right now he has beyond proven himself. Moth Gideon was everything. And then if there's a new movie called Maxine. He looks good in that. He looks very good, like he's gonna take care of some good business and give you something different.
Yeah.
But I'm wondering what he's going to do in Captain America, the new
Uh-huh.
one. Because they
Mm-hmm.
brought him in to do massive reshoots. So I'm just looking at him like, man, that guy is phenomenal. Who else? I want to work. Oh, I'm doing it right now too. I can't remember his name. I want to work with Finn. I want to actually work with Finn. John Boyega. I want to work with John Boyega on something. I think that would be great, like a voiceover or like a comic project. And I want to work with some old friends. I want to work with Aldous Hodge and Edwin Hodge. I would
Mm-hmm.
like to work with I want all three of us in the room. I want me, Katero, Colbert, and D-Man to be in the same room because we're cousins. We've done this thing. We've been doing voiceovers since we were in our young 20s. We have worked kind of with each other, but we've never been able to work on a project that was just us from every day. I would love that. I would love to work with my cousins and just do cousin stupid things and have stupid jokes that no one understands while we're working. And just crazy like scenarios where it's like I'll get the kids from school. Don't worry, you guys, your session is gonna run longer. And people look around like, wait a minute, you guys are really, really cousins. Like, no, yes, like our parents know each other. That would be good. And I would want to work on something with Rob and Frank, or really would yeah, with Rob, Frank Tadero, Frank Welker, and oh oh god, I almost had it. Goliath,
Like
gargoyles.
Keith David.
Steve David, yes, I would like to work on a project that's originated and starts, and then of course every female voiceover actor, because or female presenting,
Yeah.
due to the fact that the conversation I've had for years with my nieces and my daughter and other young female actresses is playing a little boy can get you rich.
Oh
Playing a
yeah.
little boy can get you rich. And there's such a wealth of voices in many women that it's like it's ridiculous because like you hear a woman's take on a little boy and it's like Cree and freaking Kimberly Brooks
Yeah.
and oh god, Tara, both Taras, Tara,
Wait.
Tara. Sorry, don't want to mess up.
There's two Taras?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, there's a Tara Strong and then Tara. married to Yuri Lowenthal.
Tara Platt. Tara Platt.
Yes, yeah.
I was thinking of Tara Sands. I don't know why.
Yeah. And then, of course, Danny Nicolette is freaking phenomenal. It's just there's so much more in women that has not been allowed and is now being allowed, is now coming up to the forefront and being realized. I think around 2005 people really started getting this, like, yo, and of course EG Daily, yes, of course.
Yeah.
But it's like once you do god dang it, Harley Quinn, you start realizing there's something else going on. There's something great. That was a one-off. She was a one-off. And now she's part of she's a cultural icon.
No,
You know what I'm saying? And if I dare any man to say that he didn't love the Powerpuff Girls. I watched every episode. So it's like there's so much more that and that's what I love about Teen Titans, both of them. Teen Titans Go and Teen Titans, like, seeing and then Steven Universe. I didn't watch it as much as I probably should have, but just the way that the women made that show so phenomenal. So almost anybody, because I'm gonna miss names if I try to name everybody.
Yeah. There's way too many people, but they're all good. Yeah.
But,
Arif, I would like to ask you one final question, and this is a big one, right? Okay, so I want you to think very carefully about how you answer this.
Okay.
Okay. What is your favorite color?
I need 3, man.
What are your top 3 colors?
Okay,
Favorite
orange, purple, and most shades of blue, but specifically baby blue.
Oh, close enough. I always ask mine because I have found a few people with the same one as mine, but it's just mine's yellow. So orange is close enough.
Yellow is phenomenal, but orange is because of leukemia and multiple sclerosis. So I've fallen in love with orange since my wife's diagnosis. So it meant a lot. Purple is because of the Saints. I never thought I would love purple so much. It's like, I liked Prince, but I wasn't really. But it was like something about the fleur de lis in purple. Now it's like, why are you running around with a lavender phone? I'll flip your car over doing 100, buddy. Leave me alone. I'm a saint. And blue because it, baby blue, sky blue, all of the blues have been amazing over the years. But yellow is within the top 5. Trust me. I was just wearing a yellow sweatshirt for grad night chaperoning.
Ooh.
I can prove it. I can prove it. Where is it? I just had it on the other day. Come on. No recent photos. Come on, man. Where is it? Yep, here we go. Bright yellow. Bright yellow.
Yes, I can see it.
Yellow.
Yes, I see it. Was it plain yellow? Was there like a design? I saw like there was a design.
It was the peanuts.
Oh, awesome.
Always the peanuts. Always like that. That's the first love. If I had a project I could do, it would be that. And I've had projects that were code name peanuts, and they were not the peanuts.
Not the peanuts you're after.
And then when I got there, I was like, no, I'm happy to be here. Why do you have a scowl on your face? No particular reason.
Arif, thank you so much for coming to my show. It's been a real pleasure to talk to you about everything and everything in between.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Where can we find you on? Sorry, face went bright there. There we go. On social media.
You can find me on the outskirts of everything X because I got out of there. But you can.
I don't blame you. To be fair.
Just look up Arif S Kinchen. If you just spell it out and put an @ symbol in front of it, you'll find me. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, and MySpace.
Hey, that's a blast from the past.
And the Book of the Face, but also I do Twitch under ASK Blood Drive, which is our nonprofit where we raise money for the Children's Hospital of Los Angeles. So that's my
Aye.
alter ego. Once I'm done with my passion project, I'll be back to streaming every other day like I used to.
Awesome. Can you say anything about your passion project at the moment, or is it
Yeah,
completely
and
under?
hopefully people don't get weirded out. I am I'm a Christian. You don't have to be. I am a Christian, and my church wanted to do the Bible, and I volunteered to record the whole Bible.
Wow.
And sometimes some character work, but mainly just to record it. And it's the hardest, most fulfilling job I've ever done. And that
Oh
includes
yeah, because
everything.
how long is it? How many pages?
I don't even know. I just know that it's super long. And the greatest thing about it is it's you learn a lot of historical things, and you start to really wonder about our existence on this planet in terms of like, how long have we been on this planet? Because judging by what you guys are saying in here, we've been here a lot longer than you guys are saying we've been here. These civilizations did this, and these civilizations did that. So it's like it's a brain candy for me. It's like it's opening up pockets that make me think. And for the other reason, a lot of people think that it's like, oh, you're being spiritually fulfilled. Like, yes and no. I'm being I'm academically sparked, which I really like. You know what I'm saying? Because I used to only read instruction books or scripts. So this is really good. And comic books. Favorite graphic novel is still X-Men versus Teen Titans. Fight me on it.
Good choice. Right, well, in that case, I'll get all your social media linked in the description, and also some donation links to some charities if you want the MS stuff and that, because I've been doing that since Arlie Sorkin passed from. She had MS for a good few, the OG Harley Quinn. She had MS for a good few years. So
yes. Thank you.
Everything. You're welcome. To you at home, thank you so much for watching this episode of In Conversation with ATF, featuring the lovely Arif S. Kinchen. I hope you loved it as much as I did filming it. Take care. Stay happy. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And we'll see you around. Bye! And